Previously on Kipper Tales, on haul out for washdown, we discovered that the hull looks like it's made of bubble wrap. Unfortunately, there wasn't time to investigate properly, so we've had to come out yet again so we can actually start getting to grips with what's going on with what turns out to be a very bad osmotic problem. It's also an opportunity for us to start our winter maintenance and improvement program, a program that's going to help us take Double T from looking like this to looking like this. Coming up in this episode, we bring you an update on the work completed so far. We'll offer a reminder about just how bad that osmotic problem of ours is, but more importantly, we'll share our plans moving forward and how we're going to deal with this. We'll also be taking a look at the Bimini and Sprayhood. And we come up with a slightly unconventional approach to how we clean these up a bit and have a go at reproofing it. So, since haul out and yet another washdown, we've had the opportunity to get the anodes changed on the hull. As you know, it was giving us some concern, but it's now sorted. We've also had the opportunity to start looking at this osmotic problem of ours, and as you can see, the pitting is pretty bad. In fact, most of the hull is like this, which is very concerning. So, after the antifouling was removed, we sanded back the hull at a basic level. The plan now is to let the hull dry out as much as possible and address some of the worst hit areas. Ultimately, our long-term plan is to haul out for about 12 months whilst we actually get to grips with this osmotic problem and deal with it properly. Unfortunately, because of yard space issues, that's not going to happen this year. So, until we can find a suitable location, we're just going to do what we can for now. Hi everybody, welcome back. First of all, my apologies about the noise in the background. There's not a lot I can do about that. Today I'm engaged in some of the maintenance work that we've been doing with Double T while she's been out of the water. Quite recently I noticed that the Sprayhood and the Bimini were actually looking a little bit on the tired side really, but what surprises me is that looking at the paperwork, they're not actually that old, which is a bit disappointing really. While you'd expect the bungee to be old and tired and perishing in the sun, even the material feels quite old and tired, which doesn't make sense because it's not that old. It just hasn't weathered well at all. And we've had the usual problem with it getting green and stuff like that as well. And we decided, or rather I decided, that I'd have a look to see what people would normally clean up the Bimini and things like that with. Now we got a few suggestions, and one of them that came up a few times was this one. So that one, did a little bit of research on it, and there's a mixed bag of reactions to it. Some people say it's very good, others saying that they had to work at it and things like that. I found a YouTube video with somebody using it on a soft top of the car. Now, given the hype that people had said about this thing, and it's pretty good, it seemed like there was a lot of work involved to me because there was like numerous coatings of the cleaner and other cleaners as well. Did a bit of research into the actual product itself, and it seems it's like an acid-based type stuff. Bit more research, and I thought, well, actually, it's a lot like masonry cleaner or brick cleaner, as you might call it. So I thought, well, I could use that instead. So that's what I did. I've used brick cleaner with a scrubbing and all sorts of stuff on the Bimini. Now, it has come up a lot better than it was, and the good news is it hasn't melted. So, you know, things are encouraging. Well, as far as the spray hood goes, this was actually very green, and it has actually come up a lot better than I expected, particularly when you consider how bad it actually was. So, you know, that's not too bad. I say it's not perfect, but it's an augment, not an ornament. Yeah, while the Bimini was off, Mrs. B has been very busy with the old sewing machine repairing some holes and things. So I'm very pleased about that and grateful that she's got the skills. But it occurred to me that perhaps in all the scrubbing, etc., the waterproofing might not be so good anymore. So something we need to look at. So on the subject of waterproofing, since I only had a very short period of time, leave, etc., to actually get on with any waterproofing, the problem I had was, what do I use? So a few people recommended this to me. Now, I've not used it before, but doing a bit of research, it says that there's this version here, but there's also another one called Gold. The key difference is that it's a higher concentration, and they reckon about 5 times more effective. Now, the problem I had is I wanted to actually get the job done while the weather was holding. So, long story short, I couldn't find anybody that could deliver the Gold stuff in the period I had available, and this one was on Amazon, next day delivery. Yeah, pay a little bit more for that. So that's what I did. Now, I ordered it on Monday and it arrived on Friday. So not impressed, particularly because I could have had the Gold stuff on the Thursday. So, you know, live and learn. So the mission today is to actually have a go with this stuff on the Sprayhood and the Bimini, like this. Okay, so let's have a look at the instructions. What does it say? So it says apply a clean dry surface. Okay, treat outdoors or well ventilated. Yeah, I think that's well ventilated. Paint evenly, or use a spray. Apply extra on seams. Diddly do. It says we recommend cleaning with fully erect tents before application. Could be a bit of a problem. We seem to have an erectile dysfunction as far as the Bimini goes at the moment. Certainly its normal situ. Let's have a look. Right, okay, so plan is to decant some into here. No expense spared, as you can see. All very Heath Robinson, as is our style. We've got some paintbrushes, bit of PPE, and we're ready to rumble. I'm already messed it up so I can't see a damn thing. There goes nothing. Okay, so some time has passed and I think the full spray gun was the better way forward. I think we certainly got a better coverage on it, and certainly the product has gone further. I think had I been using a paintbrush, I think it'd still be on this section here. Whilst it absorbed it very well, I think it'll take forever, you know. But looking at the old Sprayhood now, yeah, I'm losing light in here at the moment, but yeah, it's not looking too bad. My concern is these windows, because obviously you're going to get overspray on them, but you know, what can you do in it? I've also done the Sprayhood here, and that's had a good couple of dousings with it. So that actually is quite wet, but it's alright. Again, same problem, I've got much more windows space on this one, so whilst I've wiped it and wiped it again, it's quite difficult when it's wobbling around like this. Well, there you go. Well, hello everybody, we're back on day 2, and what I've done is I've given the materials some time overnight to dry. How effective that was going to be, I don't know, but overnight the temperature has been sub-zero, and we've had a little bit of snow in the areas as well. But hopefully it's enough to help it dry out being inside. So we're going to have a look and see whether or not it looks any better and that it's actually dry. So here we go then, let's have a look. Appears to be dry anyway. This is the area you might remember that I was using a brush on initially. So it doesn't look too bad. Perhaps there's a better coverage with the brush, you know, but you know, I'd imagine that the old spray gun was relatively effective as well. Yeah, so not too bad. It's all dry anyway, so that's good. So I can fold that up, put that away now. So the only thing to do now is go and fit this thing. Unfortunately, the weather has other plans. So, as they say, the best laid plans. Work plans have to change as we are battered by a series of storms here in the UK. The weather's coming in a lot quicker than it was originally predicted to. The winds that we're expecting at the moment are 80 miles an hour plus. And as we brace for the impact of a storm, is a case of battening down the hatches all round. This weather is really moving in now already. You can hear it in the rigging around me. It's just getting louder and louder. It's funny, as I'm talking here, there's not a big wind at the moment, but I can actually feel the boat shuddering a little bit underneath me, which is a bit worrying. And despite being a few miles away from the sea, we still see gusts of over 80 miles an hour here on the estuary. Who knows what it's like out there at sea? But we do find ourselves questioning, are we better off down there in the marina or up here on the stands? Because we're rattling around like crazy. See you next time.